Tired of feeling tired? Done with diet culture? Overwhelmed by conflicting nutrition and fitness messages? Then join us, your hosts of the Nutrition Revolution podcast, as we take a deep dive into all things women's fitness and nutrition. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Tabitha. And together we are debunking diet culture myths and giving you the tools you need to finally see the results you're looking for.
So are you a big meal plan kind of person? Like for me, I am huge on having food prepped and ready to go because I'm so busy that if I don't have those foods prepped, everything is chaos. And I'm also very type A, so I like things to be ordered, right? Everything has to be like ready to go so that I don't function well when things are out of place or chaotic. Even I can't sit and do something if my house is a mess. So for me, it's the same with my food. I want my food to be prepped and ready so that it's the last thing I have to think about when I'm also thinking about teaching my kids and, clients. And I'm a much better, more sane human when I've prepped all of my proteins for the whole week and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, it may be chaos, but it's going to be organized chaos.
Right.
Gosh darn it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm very big into meal planning and prep, probably actually more meal planning than the sit down and prep a week's worth of protein in one day. So I have to have a plan. What I do is I take one day a week. For me, it's usually Fridays because Friday afternoon I have like a lighter load with my clients and everything. And I'll sit down and I'll look at my next coming week and see what do we have in the evenings, what's it going to look like? And then I plan usually 3 meals. I plan 2 under 30-minute meals, quick and easy, and then one that might be like an Instant Pot or a slow cooker or kind of like a Sunday meal. And then I always plan for double. I always double because we are leftover people. My husband, my children, myself, we will heat something up for quick, easy, on the go, grab and eat. So I do more of that than I think actually like prepping. But for breakfast and lunch, I mean, we eat some of the same things that are like easy. Like, I'll have like smoothies, but I have like everything in my freezer frozen, ready to go. Like it literally 5 minutes, I can get like super nutrient dense, protein rich smoothie whipped up, ready to go. Right. Like frying eggs just takes a couple of minutes.
Right. Piece things together.
So that's
quickly.
kind of easier. Yeah. So for me, I guess I'm probably less of a prepper, more of a planner. But there's a little bit of both involved in that.
Right.
So then I make my grocery list based around like what those meals are. And then I plan out what nights. Like I know, okay, Tuesday nights are going to be
tacos.
Yeah, Tuesday taco, because that's super easy under a 30-minute meal. Or I'll know that like, okay, Wednesday night, both kids have activities like at 6:00, which is prime dinner time, and you have to get them there. So like that's going to be a leftover night. That's the way. That's easy. Everybody can just grab something out and go, and it might be the leftover from the night before or before that. So there will be options for leftovers, but it's all planned out ahead of time, and that way I'm not like come 4:30, 5 o'clock looking at my fridge.
Like, oh no, what are we
magically
gonna
dinner's
do?
going to appear because everybody suddenly is like, Mom, I'm hungry. Or my husband's like, hey, what's the plan for dinner, babe? Like, I've never hated a question more in my entire life, and I hate that question.
Go look in the fridge and see what there is.
I'm like, I don't know, what is the plan? But I have a plan. So I make a point to do that weekly. And that's been like a game changer for me and really helpful.
I think I didn't appreciate it until I had kids in sports, because I always homeschooled.
Okay.
So it was like, I'm home all day. I can make all these meals, and I love cooking and, making recipes and playing in the kitchen. I used to have time for that. And then my kids started sports and doing different activities outside of the house. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's a whole different animal.
It is. Yeah. It is. And even if you're not a mom, but you're busy with work events or traveling or things like that, you still have to have some sort of a plan. I don't know if you do, but for my clients, I don't write them meal plans specifically. Like I don't say you have to eat 3 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon and a bowl of fruit for this meal. Like I used to when I started, was like, here's a meal plan, eat these foods and you'll be just fine and whatever. So I now do a meal idea. So I will give them ideas of what they can eat, what they might want to eat. I like to share a lot of recipes, a lot of ideas so that they can generate those. But I give my clients a meal prep guide where it's like, cook these proteins, slice these veggies, slice these things.
Gives them ideas and inspiration.
Yeah. So they're not just going into it like, well, I don't have a meal plan. I don't know what to do. There's, these guides of like, try these things and they can match these recipes and a shopping list of things that you might want to try. But I tried to teach them and educate them on kind of like, I think it was funny that you said this because this is how I am too. I sit down on Sundays, usually while the kids and my husband are watching sports or something, and I look at our whole week. I enter everything into our shared Google Calendar so we all know where we are. We know what's happening. And I try to find the days that I know are going to be our busiest days that I need to have dinner ready to go because we have those. Do I eat at 4:00 for sports or do I eat at 9:00 for sports? So I have those days that I know are super busy with, like you said, like a Taco Tuesday or something in the crock pot there. And then the other days we do a lot of like, there is chicken and meat and whatever, and we build these bowls. So I prep sweet potatoes or rice or regular potatoes and have that. And then I prep like ground beef or ground venison or salmon and I have that. And then veggies are sauteed and things
from that.
So they're just building. I always say it's basically Chipotle.
Yeah,
like you're just going through and being like, I want this and this and this. And I'm building my plate with all my macronutrients. The kids know that they have to have some protein with whatever they want. And it just kind of helps us to build a really good meal just really fast. And then like you, I have things cut up in my freezer. I utilize my freezer all the time. So tons of fruits and veggies in there for
That's one thing that
the freezer.
Feel like most people underutilize freezing fruits and veggies to use for like smoothies or quick like sides for, easy grilled chicken breasts that you can, marinate, throw some yummy sauce on and grill like 4 or 5 pounds of chicken in one swoop. And then have like frozen veggies that you can pull out and have ready to go in like just a couple of minutes as a side.
And not making one meal, but if you're going to cook one meal, you might as well just cook a whole bunch of meals at one time. So if I'm going to cook 2 pieces of chicken for dinner tonight, I'm throwing in like 6 or 7 pieces of chicken
for leftovers.
Or
leftover lunch that you can then pack to work if you're like someone that doesn't want to eat the same thing for dinner 2 nights in a row. Like I'll do that myself. Like I'll have leftover dinner as my lunch the next day, either on the go or I feel like my meal planning really started because I've done it all, like the working full time without kids, working full time with kids, to being full time stay at home mom, to transitioning now into this like where I am working full time, but it's mostly from home, a little bit outside the home, mostly from home, but then also my children are involved in so many activities and at their ages, like they're living their best life and my husband and I are making it happen. So our weeknights and even weekends are just like about getting them where they need to go and all of those things. So having that plan in place for me is a non-negotiable. If I want to be able to have healthy, nutrient-dense options that I know I'm going to feel good about eating and feel good about feeding my family, I have to make it a priority to spend some time. And now, like when I first started, it felt like it was like a monumental task almost. But now after doing it for 15 years.
Yeah.
It's like I have it down. Like I already know what are like the weekly things that we need every single week that we go through that are just the staples. And then what kind of systems are in place for like quick meals days that I can spend a little more time on meals and balance that. But at the end of the day, there's still a plan.
Yeah.
And there's still some prep work. And I think hard truth moment, if you're not willing to do that, you are going to stay forever stuck, not reaching your goals and not having the outcomes and the success that you want. Like there is time. You just have to prioritize it, make it a priority because there's always time for what our priorities are, and then build in systems that work for your schedule. So like maybe, for Kimberly, Sundays are the day. For me, it's going to be Friday because I do grocery stuff, either grocery delivery or pickup on the weekends. Like you have to find the time that works for you. It doesn't have to look like Tabitha and Kimberly's time.
Right.
It has to look like what's going to work for you every week.
Right.
Making that the priority.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, so I have clients who are like, I just don't know how to cook. I don't like to cook.
Girl, there are so many recipes on Pinterest. Just get on there, read the recipe. You can do it.
Buy an air fryer.
Love my air fryer.
And I know there's going to be people who are like, you can't use air fryers because of the chemicals that are, if you can use the air fryer and it makes you eat more protein and it makes you eat at home more, that's better than.
There's chemicals every time I turn the
you
ignition
can't
on in
avoid
my
all of
car,
the chemicals.
So, you know what? Air fried stuff is so good. If I had to pick, if my house was on fire, I would take out with me my Vitamix, my air fryer, slow cooker, and Instant Pot.
That's so funny.
Those are the 4 things. Everybody else is on their own.
Yeah.
What about you?
Air fryer for sure.
Just the air fryer?
Just the air fryer.
Really?
I will use the air fryer over everything else. I don't really use the micro. No, I use my Ninja. I love my Ninja.
Are you a Ninja?
Yeah.
It's okay. We can still be friends.
I guess so. Yeah.
People love their Ninja.
I love all my Ninja products.
Yeah. I've had my Vitamix that's 15 years old and it's going strong. I bought it refurbished. It was 3 years old when I bought it. It was a refurbished on their website. And it was a present to myself, present to me from me. And I still have it. It's now, I've had it for 12 years. It's now 15 years old. It still runs amazing. I've never done anything to it. Like serviced it. I probably should.
Right.
I don't know. I will tell you, it sounds like a freaking jet airplane. It is so loud. Like literally, it's like disturbingly loud.
That's funny.
In fact, in the mornings, if I'm doing smoothies, I will sometimes carry it like out into my garage.
And do it out there.
If anybody's still sleeping. But no, literally, my husband and my children like cover their ears. They're like, this is the most disturbing sound first thing in the morning. But it works. I've made soup
because it's
in that
old.
thing. I think it's because it's old because it wasn't always this loud.
That's funny.
She's 15 years old. She's put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean,
I make smoothies. Speaking of like tools that we use in our kitchen, I make my smoothies in my blender, but I also do like my pancakes. We do these pancakes with like just banana, 2 bananas or a banana and 2 eggs.
Love it.
And we blend those. Yeah. I make everything. My banana bread, I just throw it all in my blender and we just.
Blenders are the best.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you my blender's coming out first in that order.
If you don't like to cook,
yeah,
it's probably because you don't have the right tools in your kitchen.
That's true.
Like get a blender and get an air fryer and then come to us for some recipes.
Slow cooker too. I'll add a slow cooker.
Yeah.
They're super useful.
I do. I don't have an Instapot. I've never used one. Don't have one. Have no intentions of buying one.
Really?
Yeah. I just use my slow cooker and I like to be in the kitchen. I like to cook. So I love, making everything and like spending time in the kitchen doing all of the things. Okay. So I just I use my slow cooker for like venison or like meat, things that we're going to cook for a long time, or if we're having a party and I throw meatballs in there, but I really don't use it much.
Like before we had kids, and I was working full time outside of the home. And actually, even when we first had kids and I went back to work full time, I would use my slow cooker through the week for things if we wanted like pot roast or a stew or like, pulled pork, like something that needed that long slow.
Right.
I used that a lot. Now, as the kids got older, and then I wanted less time. I wanted in my morning, as the kids got older and they have to be out the door, and then I had to be out the door, I switched over to the Instant Pot because I wanted to use my time in the morning to make a hearty breakfast versus and I just wasn't willing to get up that much earlier to do both. So then the Instant Pot came in and it was like a game changer because I could literally come home, throw everything in for beef stew, and then within an hour have like a delicious beef stew that tasted like it'd been in my slow cooker for hours and it was ready to go. So that was how the Instant Pot for me became a game changer. And now like with the kids' activities in the evenings, it allows me, I feel like, to have like, I say high quality. I mean, like I'm talking about like one of those like comfort food meals that like seems
like the ones that feels
forever.
Like your mom stood in the kitchen all day and made it.
But like I didn't, and it's there in the Instant Pot.
Right.
And then we can grab and go.
Yeah.
Now we do sometimes what we call second dinner. Mm-hmm. So one of the things like the busy moms that I work with that talk about like they don't have time for like decent meals, this is where I say there is time. We just have to be strategic and figure out. So like that might be a slow cooker day. where I do in the morning and I have like a quick grab and go breakfast. So stuff's in the slow cooker. That way it'll be done by like 3 or 4 o'clock. So when kids are coming home, when we're coming home, we can eat first dinner, which is whatever's in the slow cooker, go to practices, go to games, or take it with you and eat it on the way. And then when everybody comes home by like between 8 and 9 o'clock, second dinner, that's where it's the Wild West.
Just grab something.
And it's just, it's
eat something and go to
cereal
bed
for my children, like something like that, and go to bed. And
but they're already getting all the nutrients that they need.
Exactly. I know
in their regular meals.
They've had one, that good meal before games and practices that was like balanced, good protein, veggies, fiber, versus like always just going to the drive-through.
Yeah.
Which is an option.
Right.
Like I would say during our busiest season, we probably have one weeknight where we do Chick-fil-A. But I try to make sure that like our choices at Chick-fil-A
are still
like
hitting
my kids
everything
love,
they need.
like the nuggets in the fruit cup. So they'll do that. Sometimes I will just do the salad, or sometimes I do like the grilled chicken sandwich and like either a fruit cup or the little like side salad thing they do. Sometimes I'll even just do the French fries, but then like I'm going to drink water with it. So there's some balance.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Has its place.
What do you do for that?
Yeah. So we, we'll go to Chick-fil-A and get grilled nuggets. That's.
Oh yeah. The gluten-free. With my daughter being, she gets the grilled nuggets, but she loves them.
Yeah.
She dips them in her little sauce. And she's
my
good
kids
to
don't
go.
even use sauce. They're like, these are so good. So
yeah.
they love them.
Chick-fil-A nuggets sauce is not a necessity.
No.
They're pretty darn good.
Yeah. I'd say Chick-fil-A is really the only like quick grab that we have. And honestly, we don't do it that often because I prep so much. I'm like, it's easier for me to go home and give you whatever we prepped versus like running somewhere. But again, if you like cooking, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If
you don't like cooking, what do you suggest? I have some suggestions. I want to hear yours.
Yeah. So if you don't like cooking, learn how to cook a little bit.
If you don't like cooking too bad, learn to like it.
Yeah, basically. But like you can. So I have single. She's single. She, she's a teacher. And she, wasn't big into cooking or like doing things on her own, but she does awesome. She makes a huge thing of chicken during the day or like during the week, has that. She bought, she likes these protein wraps that she puts it in. So she like creates these meals that are like semi-homemade. Like she has her homemade chicken and then she throws in like, some already pre-bagged salad and some, whatever. So like there's things you can do.
Semi-homemade with Sandra Lee. Did you watch that show?
I did. I love Sandra Lee so much.
She was the best. And that's what I think all the time. Whenever I take advantage or tell my clients to take advantage of the packaged foods, like a packaged salad.
Yeah.
A frozen,
don't be afraid to do those things.
Yes. Take advantage of it. It's not bad. That's the good kind of packaged
You don't
food.
have to make everything from scratch to consider yourself a cook. You can do.
No, 100%. And then also like, buy the grilled chicken breast frozen. That's like that you just like heat up.
Or walk in and get a rotisserie chicken.
Yes, rotisserie chicken with some bag salad or the like Safeway near us. I can get like their soups are so good.
Yeah.
I'll just get like a couple things of soup, throw it in my pan. They're like, "Mommy made soup." No, Mommy didn't.
No, she didn't. Well, I also have like some clients who have to eat fish and they're like, I can't cook fish. One, I don't trust that I'm going to cook it right. I'm terrified I'm going to die from eating my uncooked fish. And I tell them, go to Mission Barbecue, order 4 pieces of salmon and take it home. And that's your meal prep for the week.
Oh, that's a great little hack.
It's already done and you don't have to worry about it. And it's probably the same price as going to the grocery store and buying it.
Yeah.
And they're going to make it so good.
I think one of the things with people that are like, I hate cooking, I don't know if it's so much that they hate cooking. They hate the thought of cooking every single night.
Right.
I find that most people, when I'm like, okay, let's just pick 3 meals for the week that are like easy. There's so many 30-minute and under recipes.
Rachel Ray, 30-minute meals.
Yes, exactly. Yes, another one. And then they're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then I'm like, and then double it.
Yes.
When you are going to cook, double it so you have some for leftovers. So that way it's not every single night that you have to be in the kitchen. Just a little bit of time and then doing a combination of like maybe just 1 or 2 meals you start with if you really are like, I hate it. And then you do the convenience, like go to the grocery store, buy some bagged salad and a rotisserie chicken or pre-cooked protein that they have and grab some veggies with it, and then like just throw that together.
Piece it together. Yeah. And then the ones who are like genuinely maybe don't have the space to cook, like they live with someone else, or they genuinely cannot cook at all, can't follow a recipe at all. There's so many meal prep companies who will do it for you. I know there's local ones in our area that will do it, like Chef Jill. I don't know if you know Chef Jill. She will do it. Like she will follow your dietary needs, things that you need.
That's great.
There's Factor Foods. Like there's so many meal prep companies that you can even order. So if I know, all right, I can buy those Kodiak pancakes and eat those for breakfast with some bacon. Easy. I can grab a lunch with, a salad with some chicken already pre-made. Easy. And then I don't know how to cook dinner, and that's my problem. Buy just the dinners from some of these companies.
Save yourself a little money.
Yeah.
Because breakfast and lunch can be so easy.
I mean, anyone can make a smoothie.
Anybody can make a smoothie.
Yeah.
Anybody could fry an egg or hard boil an egg,
right.
or buy already hard boiled eggs in those packages. Like there are definitely nowadays some really great healthy packaged foods.
Yeah.
Like
even like
ready to go.
Protein yogurts or protein
and
muffins.
Throw some berries on that bad boy. So we do Kodiak, the Kodiak cake, like freezer waffles.
Yes.
A lot. My kids love those. And then for myself, like I put nut butter and berries on them. So I'm adding in some fiber and a little more protein, and I'm not drowning it in syrup with tons of added sugar. And it's like so delicious. And I'll pair that with like a protein shake. Yeah. And that is the easiest under 5-minute breakfast that you can just grab and go.
It's so good too.
Yeah, so good. And then for lunch too, doing things like making yourself a charcuterie board to go. I'll do like grapes and carrots. So I pick 2 plant foods, a veg and a fruit, throw in some pepperoni.
It's your adult Lunchable.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's all Lunchable, or I like to say it's my lunchtime charcuterie.
I love it. You're so fancy.
Thank you.
With some grape juice on the side.
I'll throw it. Yes. Nah, I don't like grape juice.
I'm just kidding.
Nuts and seeds, cheese, pepperoni, maybe a Greek yogurt to have like an extra snack, and then like two plants. I'll do like grapes and carrots, or cucumbers and strawberries, or like whatever I'm in the mood for. It changes. But like that's so easy to throw together.
Yeah.
Really no cooking involved. Put a little ice pack in your lunch bag and go to work.
Yeah. Sometimes just bring those foods home from the grocery store and slicing the carrots and cucumbers before you put them away.
Girl,
has it
buy
so easy.
A bag of baby baby cut petite carrots.
Yes.
Something is they're just better when they're really small.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit there and cut up a whole carrot.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. I love that you do that. But I'm not ever. I don't even, how lazy I am with it? I don't even buy a whole big cucumber. I buy the little mini cucumbers.
I do love them though. The little mini English ones that are already pre-peeled.
I'm telling you, small diced fruits and veggies just really do it for me.
That's so funny. I will also do like a big batch of waffles, and then I'll flash freeze them and put them in there.
Or pancakes, muffins.
I'll make
bites.
a couple loaves of banana bread
Love
then pre-slice it and then throw those in there. So if you're like, oh, I just need Starbucks banana bread. I'm like, yeah, I got that in my freezer, already prepped, ready to go. So there's so many options. So I think that
even with your smoothies, freezing every single fruit and vegetable. I can't even tell you how many clients that I like their minds are blown when I'm like, take your spinach and put it in a freezer locked bag.
Yeah. Fun fact, if you freeze spinach, when you blend it, it blends like ice and you can't even taste it.
It's amazing.
So if you don't like spinach, but you know you need it.
And then you no longer have bags of half rotten, dying spinach that you had the best intentions of eating, and then you just couldn't get to fast enough. Like it's frozen. It's going to be in there forever. It's good.
Yeah. I freeze it all as soon as it starts to, especially now, like that fruit fly season.
Yeah.
I
even will just like bring it straight home from the grocery and put it right in the freezer. Because I know like I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to use all of this while it's still fresh.
Yeah.
Like I know. I'm just going to freeze it.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
So I think, takeaway, end of the day is you have to have some sort of a plan, and there has to be some sort of effort put forth, right?
Yeah.
Anything that you want to do in life, if you want to go be a doctor, you are going to have to make the sacrifice to go to medical school and study your behind off. And before that, go to college and take your MCAT and whatever else and do the thing, right? If you want to be a teacher, you got to student teach. You have to do all of those things. Like if you want to be an athlete, you have to practice, you have to train. It's no different. If you want to have a healthy diet, you do have to make it a priority to find what works for you, spend a little bit of time, do a little bit of meal planning, a little bit of prep, but make your life easy and find ways that will work for you and that are sustainable.
Yeah. Know your schedule. Yeah. Know what foods you like, what foods you don't like, and then make that plan and
take advantage of some of the healthier packaged stuff that are available to us at the grocery stores. Take advantage of a rotisserie chicken that somebody else cooked for you at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like there are so many options and ways to make.
Yeah, nowadays you don't have to make everything from scratch, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, you can get a lot of really healthy meals in the freezer section too that are complete balanced meals that have a good 20 plus grams of protein. They've got some veggies in there that you can just literally pop in your oven to heat up, or even your microwave oven, whatever. You just have to make it a priority.
Yeah, and if you genuinely want to change your health, change your lifestyle, you do have to put in some work.
But you can do it. You can do hard things.
It is possible.
And it's worth it. And I think too, there's like that positive feedback loop where like you start doing it and you start feeling a little better, and then you do it a little bit longer and you're feeling even better. And then you settle into like habits and routines and you find the things that work for you. Like Kimberly, you like to make a crap ton of protein at one time and have it through the week, right? Yep. I don't do that. But I know what 3 meals I'm going to be making, and they're going to be doubled. And I know that, what night I'm going to do it and that I'm going to double it. So I'm going to have the leftover options, grab and go quick with that. And it works for my lifestyle. And so those busy nights, I have a plan already.
Yeah.
Because I spent, honestly, at this point, probably like 45 minutes of my week just planning that out.
Just planning.
Like that's nothing. I mean, if you look at your screen time.
I was going to say,
every Sunday,
compare this to if you can sit on your
every
phone.
Sunday when I'm in church and I'm like, I don't need this. I'm over here trying to work on me and Jesus, and you're telling me you
7 hours on your phone this week.
It's just rude. I'd like to turn that off. But the point is 45 minutes. I mean, gosh, I have some days where I spend more than that on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I justify it to myself. I tell myself it's because I'm working.
Right.
Creating farming content is a full-time job. But
yeah, you just have to cultivate the habit. If you want to change, you have to cultivate a habit that works for you, that works for your lifestyle and helps you just to keep improving. And meal prep can save you time and money.
Yes.
And can do
sanity.
Major things for your health if you're eating at home more than you are eating out.
Yeah, when it's all said and done. And then you're in control of exactly
everything.
What's going into that food, how much you're taking in. You can make sure that the balance of nutrients there. So if you're not doing it, if you feel overwhelmed by it, take some of these tips and tricks that we've suggested, implement them, and then just kind of trust the process. Be patient with yourself. It's trial and error. You're not going to sit down with a perfect system the very first week. Most of us are not, there's been.
No, I think you have to start with one meal consistently. Yes. So, start with breakfast.
Yes.
Start with just prepping your breakfasts.
Yeah.
Or if like dinner is your busiest meal and that's what stresses you out, then start with prepping your dinners and then go from there. And it'll kind of grow and add as you go.
All right, cool. Well, till next time.
Happy meal prepping.
Yeah, happy meal prepping. Thanks for spending your time with us. If you found this podcast helpful, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe on your podcast platform. If you have nutrition or fitness questions you want answered on future episodes, we would love to hear from you. You can submit these questions to our email, thenutritionrevolutionpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram @thenutritionrevolutionpodcast.